Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master. I'm here with my brother, and we are here to play Oko, Thief of Crowns, and Brazen Borrower in Simic Merfolk. We need to keep playtesting these brand new cards that have come out in Throne of Eldraine, and if you want to see how it upgrades this deck, takes it to a new level, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we're going to thank our sponsors, starting with themanabase.com. And you know what? I'm not the only person playtesting Oko. MTG Jeff, you better believe he's got a Sultai Tokens deck that he's brewing for the Eldraine standard environment. You're going to want to check him out on themanabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the MTG Mastermind. The MTG Mastermind are the ones solving the standard puzzle. There's so many decks. Which one is the one that's going to come out on top? You're going to want to become part of that community to find out the best list that you're going to want to take to your competitive events on the MTG Mastermind. And lastly, I'm going to thank Card Hoarder for being our sponsor, sponsoring us these new cards, Oko, Thief of Crowns, and Brazen Borrower, helping me test cards whenever I need to borrow them. Borrowing Brazen Borrower. And I've got new patrons. I've got new patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you very much, all of you, for your support. Thanks to all patrons currently supporting me and new patrons. So we're going to thank very much to Peter Smith. And we're going to thank returning patron Millmaster. So thank all of you for your support, supporting the channel on Patreon. So we're back. We're back, and we did pretty well in the last league.
You only lost the Neoform.
I only lost the Neoform, so what are we going to do about that? We're bringing the heat. That's what we're doing. We're bringing the heat. This is basically the only adjustment I'm making to the deck. We're taking out Shaper Sanctuary, adding Grafdigger's Cage. I'm hoping that that's going to be what's going to put this deck... that was the only problem, really. So, what are we losing with Shaper Sanctuary? Well, we're losing, some form of, card advantage. But I'm hoping we're going to make it up with Oko, Thief of Crowns. I hope we're going to make it up with Brazen Borrower. I hope we're going to make it up with Silvergill Adept. So, yeah, that's just the way I'm looking at it. Now, I've had a little bit more time to play with some of these cards, particularly Brazen Borrower. This card is incredible. This card, in my mind, it has proven itself. This is going to be a playable card for many years into the future. I don't understand the people hating on this card. If you believe in Echoing Truth, if you play Echoing Truth, you might as well play this damn thing, because it's going to be Echoing Truth most of the time, 90% of the time, and you get a 3/1 creature attached to it. Who cares if it's a fairy? Who cares? It's a free creature attached to the bounce spell.
And it's flying.
So anyway, I don't understand the hate towards Brazen Borrower. I have all love towards this card. This card has proven itself to me. It is good in the Merfolk deck because it is helping. Sometimes we have to take some time to get all our creatures out, or we need to prevent our opponent from steamrolling us on the early turns of the game. That's what Brazen Borrower is for. We have that early bounce spell to deal with our opponents. And it's in blue, it's 2 mana, it's on curve, it's easy to get out. So Brazen Borrower is for sure has proven itself to me. It's an excellent card. Should we play 4? I don't know. The real question is, how good is Oko, Thief of Crowns? Now, I have not seen the upside. I haven't seen the peak upside to Oko. There are situations where Oko will help us, where, Brazen Borrower cannot. Oko can gain us life, and I do believe that Oko can help us in a much harder... It can help in attrition-based matchups. It can help against Jund, turn all their big Tarmogoyf creatures into 3/3 Elks. It can help against Control, just have an infinite flow of threats. So I see the upside to Oko, Thief of Crowns. Downside, it can be Pithing Needled. That's very important. I have playtested with Teferi Time Reveler before in Blue-White Merfolk, and it was excellent winning one game against the Wordex, but I could never get the second game because they would just immediately turn 1, play Pithing Needle, name my Planeswalker, and now my Teferi Time Reveler at any point that I draw it, I can't bounce anything with it because the Pithing Needle has already named it, and they can't Pithing Needle naming Brazen Borrower. So it is weak to Pithing Needle effects, and it's 3 mana. So we're making some concessions here, playing with Misty Rainforest in order to make this thing castable on curve, and it's 3 mana. So Brazen Borrower always going to get cast within the first 3 turns. This one, maybe not. So a little bit more clunky, but there's definitely tons of upside to this card. I just have to see it. I've play tested enough with Brazen Borrower that I know this card is the real deal, and I'd be very interested in testing out 4 copies of this in the mono blue version of Merfolk. I think there's definitely some potential there, and in my mind, it has replaced Harbinger of the Tides. I think Harbinger of the Tides is just dead. Harbinger of the Tides is a very narrow way of bouncing creatures. This guarantees bouncing a creature, and Harbinger will bounce something, situationally bounce something, and put a 2/2 creature on the battlefield for 4 mana. For 1 extra mana, which is, hey, it's 5 mana is still more than 4 mana, but for 5 mana, for that 1 extra mana, you guarantee that you bounce something. Anything, creature, artifact, planeswalker, enchantment, and you get a 3/1 flyer. I think it's a better rate, and you can also piece it out over 2 turns. You can bounce something on turn 2, play a 3/1 fairy on turn 3. You can't do that with Harbinger of the Tides. Well, I mean, I guess you can. You can just play the Harbinger on turn 2, but you only situationally get to bounce anything. So they are still slightly different cards, but there's so much utility to this, between bouncing planeswalkers, bouncing artifacts, bouncing your opponent's creatures. I think Brazen Borrower is just superior to Harbinger. I really honestly think that Harbinger is dead. Brazen Borrower is just better. It doesn't matter that it's a fairy over a Merfolk, all right? It doesn't matter. It's not that important. It still has evasion. It's a flying creature. It has 3 power. It's pretty big. It can put a really good clock on the opponent.
It can block a flyer.
It can block flyers. You know, that's something Harbinger can't do. But anyway, so so far in my playtesting, Brazen Borrower has proven itself. It's going to be part of the Merfolk toolbox, either in mono blue or even in Simic. I don't mind playing it alongside Oko. Like I said, if you're playing Harbinger, you might as well play Brazen Borrower, and that's why I'm playing Brazen Borrower. Oko still has some room to prove itself, but so far I like what I've seen, and hopefully we see some more stuff out of Oko in this league. All right, we got the 4 Grafdigger's Cage to fuck over Neoform. Hopefully, bring on Neoform. I don't care. And with that, let's get into our league. So we lost the die roll. We're up against Lone Star. We have a fine hand. We can go turn 1 Speaker into Silver Gilladept, so we can at least play something for the next 2 turns. And we're going to draw a card, so hopefully we draw into our mana sources to play the rest of our stuff. Can't remember. I mean, I recognize the name, but I can't remember the archetype. Oh, great. We're up against Whir. Okay, so I'm just hoping to hit lands so that we can just curve out to a turn 4 kill. And there they go. Well, it may not be Whir. I mean, it could also be... Okay, that's good. That's what we wanted to see. Actually, what we really wanted to see is winning the die roll. That would have been the ultimate. It's ultimately what we wanted to see. Look, they play these 3 permanents, so we just put this 1 sad one in play.
It's unfortunate.
So what, we're going to see Emery? We're going to see nothing?
Emery cool?
Yeah, Emery cool. Oh, nothing. Nice. Alright, so let's just... That's good for us. They're choked on something. What it is, I don't know. I don't care. We're playing the Merfolk Mistbinder first before the Master of the Pearl Trident because if our opponent... Well, first off, if our opponent... Well, they don't have removal. Or they do have removal. They can play Galvanic Blast with the Arkham's Astroblade. So this is the least important one. But more importantly, if our opponent puts a creature in play, like Emery, or anything, like Urza or something, we want Island Walk, and we want to put this one in play afterwards, and both of these creatures will have Island Walk. Well, here comes the mana. Here come the problems. First you get the mana, then you create the problems. Then you get
the win.
Then you get the cards banned. If they pass again, I feel a bit suspicious. Botanical Sanctum's awkward, but I guess it doesn't matter. Play Mutavault. We'll potentially attack with that next turn. I guess I didn't need to play the Mutavault. That wasn't necessary. Reveals information about our deck. Or sorry, about our hand this turn. Relax, Nikachu, relax. But we've got a turn 4 kill on the way, and our opponent doesn't seem to have anything going in sight. Like, I have no idea what their plan is. Like, are they just hoping to hit Urza and then somehow win from there? Do they have Whir of Invention?
No.
They might have had Whir of Invention in hand, and they, like, I'm not sure what they were going for. They might have had just a greedy hand that was waiting for a payoff card. So we want Collector Oof. Just shut the whole deck down. Sorry, let's get this card view going. We do want some Chalice of the Voids. I do believe it's useful on 1 to protect our creatures from Fatal Push, from Galvanic Blast. It's definitely more useful on the play than on the draw. We don't want Spreading Seas. We want to keep both Brazen Borrower and Oko in the deck post-board because of Ensnaring Bridge. I have a lot of cards to take out. I don't know what to take out. I don't mind Silvergill in this matchup. They're gonna bring in a lot more removal. They're bringing the removal. The removal's on the way between like the Fatal Push, Galvanic Blast, Assassin's Trophy, Collective Brutality. Removal is on the way. You can guarantee that. Trickster is not that important. Given this configuration that I have all these bounce spells, I guess I'm just going to remove the Chalice. I'm not in love with counter spells, and Force of Negation is enough of a counter spell. Whoops, no, we're not taking you out. 32 creatures. I still prefer to keep some 1-drops so that I can guarantee some early pressure. Let's get rid of Merfolk Trickster. I don't really need to hold up anything. Let's see if Oko can help against those stupid Ensnaring Bridges.
And all the other bullshit in this deck.
All the other bullshit. This is a bullshit deck. Assuming it is what I think it is.
It's good.
Not, well, it's like, okay. I would love, well, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm really tempted to play this Cavern of Souls on, like, Oof. Hey, why isn't my thing working? Whatever. I guess I'm going to keep it. We still have, even if I ignore the Oof, we still have 1-drop into 2-drop. That draws a card, and we have Force of Negation, so we can keep this. And hopefully we draw a green source and really screw him over. Green?
Well, it's a green card.
I have 2 Oofs now. Oof is very good. Like, it's very, very good in this matchup. Okay, I'm going to play Mutavault. I'm not even going to start with Benthic Biomancer. I will try to get this Oof in play. I will play Cavern of Souls named Oof, because I have a backup Oof. And then all I need is 1 blue mana to play like Benthic Biomancer, Silvergill Adapt, like on following turns later. I just want to shut my opponent down with Collector Oof first, or attempt to. And we'll use Force of Negation pitching Merfolk Mistbinder. This is a very awkward start, though. Okay.
What does this do?
Okay, so this looks more like the Urza Paradox deck.
Blue.
That's okay. That's why I played Mutavault first. So now I'm not committed. So that thing now can't be activated for any reasons. Then we're just trying to get a second Collector Roof and... This deck plays counterspells. Okay, what's in the Urza Paradox deck? I never really looked.
10 pounds of dog shit.
It's more clunky for sure.
MTG Salvation.
It's not very recent. Urza Paradox.
MTG Goldfish.
This looks sort of recent.
June 27th.
What is this, Legacy? This is Legacy. I'm looking at a Legacy list. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna keep the game, make it feel like the game is going, not make it look like I'm a double queuer to my opponent. Oko! What are we gonna do with you? Oh, we can't cast you. Got too excited. I got a little excited there. So what's the deal here? Are you playing with... I don't think they play with the Ice Fang Caudal. Here, this looks recent. September 11th. No Ice Fang Caudal. Paradox outcome. Instant. Return any number of target non-land, non-token permanents you control to its owner's hand. Draw a card for each card returned to your hand this way. So I can't actually interact with the paradoxical outcome very well, except with counter spells. They've got engineered explosives, which they can't activate. All right, so we will start this off with another Oko. But they have don't they have counter spells? I swear they have a counter spell in this deck. I don't see it. They have, and I don't know if the lists are concrete. But anyway, we'll start to attack for 2. I'll play a second Collector Oof, followed by a Benthic Biomancer. I don't know if I need mana, but I'll play that.
Now he's mad.
Hopefully. If anything, I can now pitch the Oko to force a negation. So Oko will play a part in this game, one way or another. Now remember, Collector Oof does not prevent Urza from adding mana with the artifacts. Okay. Holy crap, Mox Amber. So these things can't be activated, but Urza can still, tap them for mana. So we might want to hold on to the Oko just so we can nail this thing. So we're definitely going to force negation this. Let's get rid of... I guess... Silver Gillidapt. So we might see Oko end up just, hitting the Urza.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It would be pretty sweet. Would not be too bad.
I think he's better as an elk.
Now we got the land. All right, here comes Oko.
It was pain.
Oh, hold on. Okay. I have to make some attacks here, because if I turn this thing into an elk, it'll be a 3/3 creature, and it can block my Collector Oofs. So... Oh, I have another issue. This will be a 4/4. I can chump block, I guess, this. Oko is going to face some heat on the way back. So anyway, let's attack. Well, what else is he going to do? Oh, something interesting. It keeps the damage. If only Collector Oof was dealing a little bit more damage, we'd probably kill this Urza. Okay, here comes Oko.
Here he comes. This is the future of modern.
Boop!
Elks.
I'm gonna moose Urza.
Now he's probably just pissed.
Oh.
What did you do to my High Artificer?
Yeah. Okay, Okay, so we'll chump block, I guess, this thing. Now what to do? I can't add any of this stuff for mana.
I think it's a 4/4.
For now.
Turn it into a 3/3.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. Because remember, we can turn our own stuff into 3/3 creatures, so I can like upgrade these oofs if I really want to. What's the so the paradox thing still does run a decent chunk of removal. I can attack for 7 here, threatening to win the game next turn. And if they want to kill Oak, if they want to attack Oko with 2 creatures, then I mean that's not going to be good for them. It'll open them up to just losing. So let's attack for 7. Trying to think, do I turn my Merfolk Mistbinder into an elk? Or do I create a food token?
I don't think you need the health. The life points.
Because if I turn this into an elk, it doesn't change anything. My opponent still has to attack with 2 creatures. But I could turn this into an elk. But then Mutavault gets smaller. I don't know, it's tough. Or I could turn this into an elk. And then I don't have to activate the mana in the future. Decisions. Or I create a food token, it's a 4/4 creature, and then the construct is the only thing that can kill it. Okay, we'll just turn this into an elk. No, hold on. If I turn Mistbinder into an elk... No, okay, forget all this. You become an elk. Has been determined. Alright, you can go. I'm not sure if we have a good game again. Like, maybe this is a lot easier game to beat than Urza. I know Urza's serious. Urza's tough. This deck looks more vulnerable to Simic Merfolk.
They're getting in there.
Just one, huh? So I could block you. Or keep all this. I'm just concerned if they have.
Does it.
Do they have a whir? Do they have whir in their deck? They don't. Do they even have Ensnaring Bridge in their deck? They have Engineered Explosives. Okay, let's just let this thing die. Okay, goodbye, Oko. You served your purpose. So assuming our opponent doesn't have any removal, our alpha attack will force our opponent to block the Mutavault.
Lord, thank you.
Lord is good. Lord is good. So now if our opponent has a removal spell, they have to use it on the Lord of Atlantis. They're still in really bad shape. I'm just going to attack with everything.
3.
They have to kill the Lord.
2.
Then they would block the Mutavault, take 6, go to 1. I mean, it's effectively over.
Yeah, he's done.
All right, we did it. We beat the Paradoxical Outcome deck. Urza, you're nothing compared to Oko. Oko, that was awesome. It turned Urza into nothing. Under a lot of circumstances, this Urza would have gotten a lot of value turn after turn. Also would have been a decent blocker as a 1/4 creature. I guess the 3/3 creature is a pretty good blocker too. But this is okay. We were trying to prepare for like busted artifacts that normally we can't deal with, like Ensnaring Bridge or like what's it called? Like I didn't know it was the Paradox outcome, the Urza Paradox deck going into game 2, but also like engineered explosives and stuff like that. Turns out we can also deal with the creatures. Forget Dismember and all those other cards. We have Oko turning this Urza into just a piece of nature. You're a green elk. Where's your horns? Where's your horns? It's mating season. Anyway, so like this is showing another angle that other cards wouldn't in Oko's place. Echoing Truth wouldn't have been great there. Just bounce Urza, replay it. No, we turn into an elk permanently dealt with. This is the payoff card. This is why they have all these cards here, because they expected that Urza, I mean, even if we counter the the Paradoxical Outcome card, even if we counter it, they've got Urza to keep grinding value every single turn and make up for it. But thanks to Oko, Urza couldn't make up for it and just... It was an elk. It's an elk.
Done for.
We just saw the power of Oko, Thief of Crowns, in Simic Merfolk. So that's our game for today. We're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com and the MTG Mastermind and Card Hoarder for being our sponsors. This has been Nikachu with his brother, playing with Simic Merfolk with Oko in Modern.